Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video because I really feel like this is going to push me to read. I uploaded a TikTok the other day. I wanted to film a video where I was like timing myself to see how many pages or how long it took me to finish my book. And I feel like whenever I gave myself that challenge, it made me like literally lock in on my book, and I finished it so quickly. And I was like, you know what? I've done what I read in a week before, like on TikTok or something like that. But I was like, I really want to see how many books can I finish in a week? How many pages can I read in a week? So I'm really excited about this video. So obviously that's what this video is. So I'm starting on Monday. Today is Monday and I have not read yet, which is shocking, I know, but it's Brandon's birthday. So I've pretty much spent the entire day with him, but he is gonna fall asleep tonight. And when he falls asleep, the reading will happen. Like, I cannot wait to log into my book because currently I am reading Beach Read and I literally only have 40 pages, not even left of this book, you guys. Like, I have been waiting to read it. I might even read some before we go to dinner. We're leaving in like 30 minutes. So I might read some of it, but my goal is to finish this book tonight and then start a new book tomorrow. Or if I finish it early, I'll start the new book tonight because I really want to start Jessa Hastings' new book. So I just bought it. It is Time of Your Life and I've been so excited to start this book. So if I finish Beach Read tonight, I will just jump right into this one. I'm kind of sad though because I thought this was a standalone and it's actually part one. So there's going to be a second book to this series, I guess now, which I'm like kind of bummed about because I'm like, wait, I wanted a standalone because I'm not ready to commit to another Jessa Hastings series because I just don't know her timeline. I don't know when she's gonna give us what we want. So I get a little hesitant. If you are interested in seeing what I'm reading, what my ratings are and all of that, I always have my Fable and my Goodreads linked below, so you guys can go follow both of those. I update what I'm reading in real time. I'll sometimes like leave little reviews or I'll post little photos, but I am on both and I am actively on both. So yeah, either one you use, Fable or Goodreads, I'm on there and I will post my book reviews and stuff. So for this vlog, I'm gonna add up how many pages I read each day, so then at the end of the week I can see how many overall pages I read. I don't know how many books I'm gonna read this week. I'm not focused on the amount of books that I read throughout the week. I'm just focused on like, can I read every day of the week a significant amount? Because sometimes I'll like binge read for 2 days of the week and I'm rolling through books and then it's like I fall off. I don't want that to happen. That is why this video is going to keep me locked in, which I'm really excited about. So let's see how this goes. I have had the longest Tuesday of my life. I just was on my laptop for so long. I had videos to edit. I just had so much to do today, and the only thing I could think about was, when am I gonna have time to read? Like, I'm not gonna have time to read, especially when I want to start a new book, which I am starting Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. It's like I want to start a new book so bad and I want to read this, but why does starting it feel so hard and so boring? Like, it's like I don't want to do it, but I really want to do it. Like, starting a book is so difficult, but at least I know Jessa Hastings will always keep me locked in. So I'm gonna see how much I can read tonight. Probably gonna be like 5 pages because my bedtime is typically 9:30 and it's already 9:30. So I'm gonna read a little bit before bed and see what the vibe is. So last night I read 28 pages of Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. And I knew what was gonna happen to me. I knew I was going to be obsessed with it. Literally just 28 pages in and I'm like, God, we are so back. Thank you so much, Jessa. Like 2 books from her in one summer is the greatest thing ever. But I came to this realization last night, like as I was like 5 pages in, I was like, you know what? I really want to start annotating. I've been thinking about annotating my books. And this is a big step for me because I like to keep my books in like pristine condition. Like I don't bend the binds, like I don't like dog ear any pages. Like I'm very particular. But I recently ordered a journal, which I can't wait to show you guys. I ordered a Louise Carmen journal. I have been wanting one for literally like a year and a half now, almost 2 years. And I finally just ordered it for myself for my birthday. But one of the notebooks I'm gonna have in my journal is a book review journal. And and I want to physically write out my book reviews because I feel like I retain information so much better whenever I'm either writing it down or like highlighting it or whatever it is, which is why I do tab all of my books. I always tab all of my books now because I feel like it helps me really remember and know what's going on. Oftentimes I just will like read a ton of books and then I'll be like, what was that about? What was the point? And whenever I tab books and I reread it over again, I'm like, oh, okay, like I feel like I just remember it better. So basically, I've been wanting to annotate and I want to actually write in my books and write down like my little thoughts on the side of it, even if it's just like the cutest little things. I was really intimidated by annotating and I've just been like nervous to do it because I feel like whenever I see people annotate their books, I feel like it's like so serious. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just reading like little romance books, but I want to annotate them and I want to have what my thoughts are in the moment as I'm reading it. And I just want to highlight really like pretty quotes and things like that. I'm going to start annotating it tonight. I'm gonna get my matching book tabs. I am gonna do it a little bit differently because I actually saw this girl and she basically posted a video and she was like, everyone makes annotating really, really hard and they act like you have to have like a certain code to annotating, and it's literally just whatever you like about the book, like underline it or highlight it or like write on the side of it. Like it's your book, make it yours. That's the point of annotating. And I think that that's why I was so intimidated by it before, because it's like I'm not annotating for other people to read it. So I was like getting nervous being like, oh, but like what if like the things I highlight are weird, or what if it's strange? Like I don't really give my books out very often and like no one's gonna read it unless I want to read quotes from it. So I'm like, I don't know why I was being a freak about not writing in my books, but I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna write whatever I want. I'm gonna highlight whatever I want. I'm gonna tab whatever I want, and I'm really excited about that. So I haven't been able to read this morning, but I will be reading whenever I get home. I also started reading a second book. So I started reading Go as a River. I've been wanting to start this book for a while, and a lot of times I will just pick two like completely different books and just completely different genres just so that I can like tandem read, and I like to read more. So I decided to listen to the first chapter of it while I was cleaning this morning, and I always do this when I'm cleaning. I will put my headphones on and I will go and like download the book that I'm reading as an audiobook, and I will listen to it while I'm cleaning. Even if it gets 6 minutes in of the book, like I always do it because I feel like it really helps me meet my reading goals. Like any spare chance that I get to read, I am always reading. I don't go anywhere without the current book that I'm reading, and if I do, I will just download it as an audiobook and like listen to literally 3 minutes of it before I go inside somewhere, just because it just helps me read more. So that is kind of like my life hack for reading more. If you guys are struggling, or maybe there's a book that's really hard to read and it's starting off really slow, download it as an audiobook first, because even with Go as a River, I knew it was going to be a little bit of a slower book starting. So I was like, if I can get like 1 or 2 chapters in as an audio, it'll kind of give me the backstory and I'll be able to like just pick the book up right away and get into it. I actually want to see how many pages that was that I listened to, because it literally was like 10 minutes, 20 pages. 20 pages is how much I listened to as an audiobook, and now like this book is starting off very cute and I'm already like really interested to see where this goes. It's about a girl, she's 17 years old and she runs her family's peach farm. It's set in the 1940s. I'm so interested to see where this goes, because the first chapter basically starts off and she meets someone who's in her very small town, and he's clearly not from there and he's kind of like a runaway, but she's got a little crush. And so she meets him and she's like, wait, he's like different, he's really cute. And yeah, I'm excited to see where their story progresses, because she seems like the type of person that's like very strict, follows the rules, she's very mature, she's running her family's farm, and he's just kind of like a free spirit. Like he's like, oh, I didn't like working in the mines, I just ran away, I don't know, I'm gonna go wherever life takes me. That's kind of his vibe. So I'm interested to see what lessons they like learn from each other. And I'm also gonna annotate this book, so I'm excited about that. I saw someone post this and they were like, it's an amazing summer read, and so I feel like I'm trying to squeeze in all of my summer reads before the summer is over. So these are 2 books I am currently reading and making progress on, but we're gonna annotate them tonight. Up stopping at a bookstore and I did end up buying 2 books. I just couldn't help myself. And then I also bought new pens. So these These are my new annotating pens that I cannot wait to go home and use. I actually can't express how excited I am to start to annotate these. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick some book tabs that I want that kind of like go with this cover. The cover is pretty much just like black and then it has neutral, but the bind is blue. So I'm thinking to go with some like navy, darker gray colors, like loving this vibe right here. Pretty much the way I'm gonna annotate, since I am not putting any pressure on myself to go crazy with the annotations, I've always gotten questions about how I tab my books when I use book tabs, which these I've just ordered off of Amazon, but I always would get questions like, how do you tab? And I would never change the color of the tab based on what I was highlighting. I just changed the color of the tab based on the vibe. Like I just am like, oh, like I want a blue one here, I want a navy one here. I just like to make it a cohesive color scheme. It has nothing to do with what specifically I'm tabbing, but that is not how a lot of people do it. A lot of people color code them, so they'll choose like blue for the main character, pink for male main character, or whatever it is. I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to like stress myself out with like doing tabs, and I feel like I could get into that another time. For this one, I am just going to underline and highlight the things that I want to highlight and the things that I feel like resonate with me. I have this gray pen, which I think I want to use the gray pen for Time of Your Life, and then I'm going to use the yellow pen for Go as a River, and I also have some colorful like orange and yellow tabs that I can use for this one. This one's gonna be really cute to annotate and tab. I've read 45 pages of this book so far, so I'm actually gonna go back and annotate and tab the stuff that I hadn't when I read it last night, because all I was thinking last night was like, I don't want to lose my thoughts and like what I feel right now reading it, and I don't want to lose this line or this word. So before I get much further into it, I'm gonna go back and tab and annotate a little bit in this book. But I'm like so excited about this. I've been waiting all night to do this. I literally went to the store just to get items to do this, so it's time to get into it. Turn into a Jessa Hastings stan fan page. Like at this point, it's getting out of control. If you're new here and you're like, what, why will she literally not shut up? Go watch my Magnolia Parks reading vlogs, which honestly, reading this book is making me want to go back and watch my own Magnolia Parks reading vlogs so I can relive the way I felt reading them for the first time. I am absolutely devouring this book. I am only 80 pages in, but like I'm not kidding. The goal is to almost finish it today. Like I just want to read the entire thing. Picture, it is the 1990s, like prime 1995, is it? Yeah, it's 1995. You're the hottest model ever, like literally so gorgeous. You go out, you go partying, but you're in London. You're in London and you're just like hot and you're just smoking cigarettes. You're going to the club. You literally like have slept with Johnny Depp. You slept with every celebrity ever. And as you're out one night, you get approached by the most famous frontman lead singer of the most famous globally band ever, like currently. And that is this book. This is like literally pretty much what I thought was going to happen to me when I was 13 and I went to a One Direction concert. Although she doesn't get approached at a concert, she just gets approached because she's out. But like I'm obsessed with this pairing. I already know it's going to be extremely toxic because I'm getting Joa's POV and I'm getting Ysolde's, which I am obsessed with. I love how confident she is. She's just an extremely confident person, but he takes being like arrogant and really cocky to like an extreme other level, but like it is warranted, but also it's funny. Like it adds to the banter, and I really feel like their banter is just truly some of my favorites so far. But I can tell, even though I'm only like 80 pages in, I just know things are going to get so messy, especially because this is only part 1, so I just can't imagine what's going to take place. But like they meet, they become infatuated with each other, and literally it's only been a week and he's on stage and he's like, I'm so obsessed with this girl. He dedicated Crimson and Clover to her. Like I cannot. I'm so happy with this book. I'm so happy. This is like literally what I needed. Let's go through some of the quotes that I've saved so far. Oh my god, this part I literally highlighted. He's like on stage telling like every single fan on the planet, like, yeah, there's this girl and I literally cannot for the life of me get her out of my head, and I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up because I'm so obsessed with them. Like I'm gonna throw up. If you're not sold yet, like let me just read you this line. I suddenly clocked that she's standing in my dressing room and I like her there. Like the idea of her being the last thing I see before I go on stage just works. My eyes start back to her, and before I can think too much about it, I grab her face and kiss her quick and rough. Swear to God, you're unreal. He's obsessed with her. But of course, there's already been some red flags. Like if it's a Jessa Hastings book, like I know the man is gonna have red flags, except for the Conditions of Will. Like love that man. Well, he does have red flags. Yeah, if it's Jessa Hastings, she is gonna give you a man with a lot of red flags, and you're just gonna have to keep looking past them, because his words, his charm, his banter, his wit, it's gonna pull you in, okay? Anyway, I am gonna sit here. Clearly, I'm in my pajamas, and I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna see how many pages I can read of this. I was alternating for a minute there, and I was gonna go back to reading Go as a River, but after last night, I'm like, I can't like read anything else. Like, I just have to read this right now. So, Joa is kind of the worst. Like, the things that actually come out of his mouth, but like, why can he get away with it? Like, why am I like, oh my god, you're insane. I still love you, but like, you're insane. Like, you're insane. Oh my god. Oh my god. They just had the whole like, are you gonna break my heart kind of conversation, and I'm just like, this is setting me up for heartbreak. This is setting me up to be in turmoil. I am not prepared. Like I just know this is gonna go south. All right, I am at the halfway point of Time of Your Life, and I'm exhausted now. I'm too tired to keep reading. It's 10:15 and I have to wake up at 6 a.m. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go to sleep now. But I did read 88 pages today. Like part of me really wants to finish it tomorrow, because like I can't stop reading it. Like I'm forcing myself to go to bed right now and stop reading, but I feel like I might end up finishing it tomorrow because it's so bingeable and so good, and I'm loving it so much. But part of me is so sad that I'm reading it this quickly, because there's gonna be a part 2, and like, when is the part 2 coming out? When is the next book coming out? It's gonna leave me in a way where I know I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna have so much unanswered, and I'm gonna be so stressed, because that's how every book she ever writes leaves me. And I'm just loving it. And so I'm like, I want to binge it, but I also don't even want to finish it, because once I finish it, then I really finish it, then it's over. It's Friday and the entire day went by. I was not able to read, and then I had Destiny's birthday dinner tonight, or like birthday party at her house. And so I was over there from 7 until midnight, and now I'm home. Me going to sleep at 9:30 every night is truly my everyday schedule, but since I'm kind of awake, I'm gonna see if I can read. You know, sometimes when you're just like not tired, like I don't feel tired right now, then I'm gonna open this book up and like start a couple pages, and it's gonna make me like I'm gonna zonk out. So hopefully that's not the case. We'll see if I can even read like 20 pages tonight. Dedicated to keeping my streak and finishing this book, and tomorrow's Saturday, which means I'm finishing it tomorrow. Saturday. My eyeballs are about to fall out of my head because I finished this book. I have been locked in reading this book for so long, and I also I literally want to rip my hair out with the way this ended. Like, I need the next book, like I need air. If you read Magnolia Parks, literally think like the toxicity of the first book in Magnolia Parks, and like honestly even the second Magnolia book, like the toxicity, think that, but like worse. Well, maybe not worse, because it was really bad with Magnolia. So like think it's the same vibe. Oh my god, I loved this book so much. So I finished it. It's so much for me to process, and I can't fully talk about it because I really don't want to spoil it in this vlog. I had 132 pages left, so that's what I read. There are so many little notes and tabs in here. I loved annotating it. I obviously feel like this is the first book that I annotated, so I think that I will get more used to annotating and like know more what I want to like highlight and really hone in on in the future. But for now, like I'm really happy with it, and I did feel like it was really enjoyable to annotate. Like I felt like I was like living more in the moment, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't just reading and passing by. Like I would read something and be like, oh my gosh, like I have to highlight that. Like I just felt like I was a little bit more in it, which I really like. Oh my god, but like the stress that I feel from this book, like the anxiety, there was a point in this book where Joa did something that made me like physically sick, and this is the exact feeling I felt with Magnolia Parks, and I've never felt this way reading any other book. And I think it's just the realness and like the rawness of Jessa's characters that she writes. It makes me like, it genuinely, it's just too real, and it seems too realistic and so insane that it just like, oh, like it hurts. It like hits you right there. I think that's why I love her writing so much, is because a lot of times, especially when I read romance books and there is that toxicity, or like something happens, or there's a plot twist of some sort, like it just feels like the whole time like I'm reading a movie. Or even in other books, it's like I know things will get resolved. I know with Jessa's writings, like nothing is like a definite answer. I never know what I'm gonna get with her writing, and I never know where the story's actually gonna go. So like when something bad actually happens, I'm like, I can't cope with it, because I'm just like, she will leave things unresolved, or she will leave things and like show like the real raw, terrible, like awful sides of people, and then also show you their other sides, and it just like stresses me out so much. I'm gonna give this book, I think, like 4.5, maybe 4.25 stars, because I really loved it, and it was pretty short. It was like the perfect length. It's 322 pages, which for me is like perfect length of a book. But I will say, I don't think it's like her best writing. I think Conditions of Will, if you were to read another series that's not Magnolia Parks, Conditions of Will is a standalone, and I really liked that one, and I feel like her writing was a lot more impactful in that one. The way she writes in that one, I loved a lot more. But I love where the story is going, and I am super invested in these characters. And I think that what I love so much about Jessa's writing is that she writes as if I'm supposed to know these characters and I know everything about them. Like, she writes as if I'm just like hopping into the middle of their lives. You're just jumping into the middle of these storylines and these characters, and they've got all these backstories and all of this baggage and all of these different people who are like interconnected, and it's so messy, and she just like immerses you in it. And I love that feeling, and I like that she writes characters as if I've known them for my whole life, even though this is my first time reading them. Like, she'll write certain lines, like I've highlighted them, and she'll be like, oh, well, of course, like, you know Fletch, like he's so hot, blah, 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 blah. Like when it's, you know, Isolde's point of view, like she'll be writing or speaking about someone, and she'll be like, but you know how he is. And it's like, no, I don't know how he is, because I have no idea who you're talking about. But I love it because it makes me feel, I don't know, it just gives you that sense of closeness. I love when she writes stuff like that. I feel like a good analogy of that is like, you know, when you're in the middle of a conversation with people and they're all talking about a story that maybe you weren't there for, and that one person in the group kind of turns to you and is like, we went to this place, or it was really fun, blah, blah, blah. And they kind of like fill you in a little bit, and you're like, oh, okay. And you're kind of getting in on it. That is what Jessa does for me. Like, that's how it feels. It feels like I'm hopping into this conversation of like all of these people that I've never met before, and there's so much to unpack, and she's like, don't worry, like, you know, kind of gives me a backstory, but in a way where it's like, it's a girlfriend. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but that is how it feels, and I love that feeling. I also really appreciate that in this book there was a lot more like pop culture references, and in her other books there are pop culture references, and typically I hate that. Like, I don't like people reference, like, for some reason, when you're reading a book, you just want it to be like a book, and when it brings up stuff that's in real life, you're like, oh, like, this is real life. Like, it kind of gives you a weird feeling. She does it in a way where it's like cool, like it's chic, it's cool, it's not in a corny way, and I think it's because she makes the character so cool. Like, this is like the most chic, cool model on the planet, so it's like if they're referencing something that is like pop culture related, it doesn't seem like cringy to me. Like, I just enjoy it because I'm like, they're cool. It's not like in a weird way, it's like in a chic way because the characters are chic. I had the best time reading this book. This is super bingeable. I'm really sad that the part 2 is not out, but I cannot wait to see what she does with these characters. Like, I'm so excited. Some of my random annotations that I wrote, like, I literally would highlight certain things and I'd be like, ew, such a loser. And I would literally just write that in some of these. Like, I just would get so annoyed about it. I'm gonna read this quote because it's not a spoiler, but I just like have to read it. But it says, God, you know what? Kissing him is like a blanket being thrown around your shoulders on a cool night. Immediate warmth. Immediately I'm comfortable. Immediately I'm okay. Was I not okay before? I hadn't realized. I thought that I was. Maybe I was. Maybe I was more than okay, and it's only now that it's over and we're done that I'm not okay. This just like summarizes Isolde so well, and I highlighted this. It says, I do this. I get tricked. I fall in love too quickly, and it doesn't just burn out. It burns through me. I don't like how that feels. That gaping hole in the center of me. And do you know what? Between us, this might just be the worst one yet. Her character is just someone who so deeply just wants to be loved and loves loving others. And like, she has a sweet demeanor, but she also has like fire to her, which I really appreciate in her character. I think that the sweetness in Isolde, or I don't even know that's how you say her name, but I think that the sweetness in her is kind of what Magnolia was lacking a little bit. Like, Magnolia had it, but she didn't show it as much as she does. And I think that that's why people love Daisy so much in Magnolia and Daisy's books, is because they see it more with Daisy and they get irritated by Magnolia. And I'm like, some people just don't understand Magnolia, and I love her, but I think that this is like, she has a softer side that Magnolia didn't have, but she very much reminds me of Magnolia in a way. Just the way she speaks about herself, the way she thinks about herself. I love that. I thought it would be fun to answer questions from my book club cards. These are the collab that I did with Kinsey, and if you have book club or you just like to like have discussion about books that you read, these are like literally the perfect cards for them. There's 3 different categories that we made. So there are questions for thriller. They're color coded, so you have thriller, and then you have fantasy. Oh, they're kind of mixed up from the last time I was reading it, but you have fantasy, which are the purpley ones, and then you also have romance. They just like have prompts for different questions. So if you do host book club or you have a friend who hosts book club, they're perfect because you just take them out. You don't have to write questions or think about what to ask each other. You just like pull these out for each category and read them. And obviously they're really cute. These are also the same designs that I sell as a bookmark also on my website, but these are sold on Friend of Mine. If you guys need book club cards, they're so cute. But I thought that it'd be kind of fun to answer some of the questions on here. We're obviously going to pull from the romance questions. So the first one is, if you could read the same story from a different POV, who would you choose? Definitely Richie. I would read Richie's POV 1000%. If I don't get his POV in the next book, I'm gonna freak. I'm gonna literally freak out. What about this couple bothered you the most? Like, literally, where do I start on this one? Which character would you want a spin-off book about? I really like her best friend Lala on this book, and I feel like she would have a really good spin-off. I'd love to hear more of her story. Rate the spice level 1 to 10, 0. There's no spice. Well, no, that's not true. 1 to 10, I would say it's a 2 or like a 1. There's no explicit spicy scenes at all, but there is a lot of that, but it's more so like it alludes to it. It's not in the way where, like, you know, if you're reading like a really smutty book, it's not like that. It's more like fade to black vibe, you know? Do you have a favorite or least favorite side character? Favorite side character, like I said, would be Lolly, and least favorite side character, I would say Mick. I can't stand Mick. He needs to leave the vicinity. Those are all of the questions that I wanted to answer from my book club cards. They're so cute. Like I said, there's just like a bunch of different questions in here, and there's different ones for each category, so it depends on whatever book that you're reading. But I just like they're good discussion starters, and we came up with all of them and made these really cute boxes that you can like also place out. I have them on my bookshelves and they're so cute. Anyway, it's time for me to pick a new book for the night, but I really don't want to read Go as a River anymore, and I'm not that invested in it because I'm only only 2 chapters in, so I'm gonna tandem read Go as a River with something else now, just because tonight I feel like after reading this book, it just put me in a different headspace, and now I don't want to read Go as a River. So I need to shift gears and find something else. I just don't know what. So maybe we'll pick from our physical TBR, or maybe I'll download a new book tonight. I don't know. This is my physical TBR, and these are the books that I could choose from to start tonight, but I just don't know if I'm feeling any. I've got Part of Your World, Abby Jimenez, Tom Lake. I just don't think I want to read romancy vibe. Like, I need something. I don't know what I need. I don't want to read fantasy, so I'm not going to choose Vicious or Six of Crows. I've had Daisy Jones and the Six for forever, and now I don't want to read it right now because I just read a book about like a rock band, and like it's just same kind of vibe. I don't want to do that. I do have Electra, which does sound enticing to me, Greek mythology, and I do love Jennifer Saint. I feel like either one of these. This is Her Body and Other Parties, and then I also have Electra. I feel like Electra is kind of sparking my interest right now. I also have All Fours, which I want to read before the summer is over. I don't want to read any of these. I'm saving The Secret History for fall. And then these are my other physical books. I've got Funny Story, which I just bought obviously in this vlog. I've got The Mystery of Time, which you guys also saw. This is the second book to Six of Crows. I don't even know why I have that. I don't even know why I bought this, to be honest, because I have not read Six of Crows, and I don't even know if I'm going to. So why did I buy this? I think out of all of these, what sounds most exciting is Electra. I'm gonna choose Electra for tonight, so we'll do this one and then Go as a River. I'll alternate between the two, see what the vibe is. It's Sunday. I am having my morning coffee. Last night I ended up reading Go as a River, which I love. I read about like 20 pages and then I fell asleep. I was exhausted, but I'm really liking it so far, even though I'm only 40 pages in. It is quite a small book, but I'm really liking it. But today is my deep cleaning day. If you can hear Brandon in the background, he is playing video games, talking on his headset. I always like talk over him and then I don't hear him until I edit the clip. So sorry if that's distracting. But today is my deep cleaning day. So I am going to be cleaning my entire house today. And typically whenever I do that, I always listen to an audiobook. And so because I'm really enjoying annotating and highlighting and stuff, I kind of struggle with listening to audiobooks because if I get to parts where I really want to highlight them, I'm like, oh, I want to pause it and go back. Like I have to pause it and go to the physical book and make sure I highlight it because like I just really want to have those certain quotes or lines and stuff like memorized. Not memorized, but like remembered, you know? I want to highlight them. I don't know why my sweater is like so buttoned up. So I decided while I'm cleaning today, I'm gonna listen to Electra. I really like listening to Greek mythology books when they're on audiobook because I don't know how to say some of the names. And so if I'm starting a new Greek mythology book, it's really helpful to listen to the audio and have them say the names. That way, whenever I'm reading it, I'm like, that is how you pronounce it, because I read these books and I pronounce their names so incorrectly. I'm gonna listen to Electra today. I don't know how far I'm gonna get, but I do have a lot of cleaning to get through. So honestly, I'm sure I'm gonna get like 50% through the book today because it's not super long. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to keep you updated because today is probably going to be mostly an audiobook day because I have a lot to get done, and that's just what I like to do on Sundays, especially when I'm cleaning. Sunday afternoon, I spent the entire day cleaning. Literally, my house is spotless. I'm so happy. Look at like my living room. It's making me so happy. I spent the entire day cleaning and I decided to listen to Electra while I was cleaning, and I'm really liking it so far. I will say the other book I read from Jennifer Saint is Ariadne, which I was obsessed with. It is like one of my favorite Greek mythology books and just books in general. I loved it so much, and this one is seeming a bit slower. I can't remember if Ariadne was as slow, but I think the reason that this one feels a little bit slower is because I'm following different storylines, whereas with Ariadne, like I was following her, and this one involves the three sisters. It also involves Electra. It involves her mom. How do I say her name again? Clytemnestra, I think is how you say it. I will say also with this one, I feel like you kind of have to know a bit more about Greek mythology in order to read this one, because it's referencing a lot of different stories and myths and connections to different people in Greek mythology that, I don't know, maybe I just feel this way, but I'm like, I have read about them before, so I feel like I have a little bit more of an understanding in this book because there's so much going on. Like, it has a lot to do with the Trojan War, it has a lot to do with Troy, it has a lot to do with Helen, and so there's just like a lot of that going on in this book, obviously, which whenever I first started reading Greek mythology, if I start to like something, I don't know if anyone else is like this, but like I go all in. Like I start like researching every topic about it. So I have these Greek mythology books. Actually, let me get them because they're insane. Okay, I can't find my other one, but I have this book and it's the Greek myths, and it kind of goes through the timeline, but it also gives you backstory on certain people, what was going on. Oh my god, that's literally them. That's so crazy. I just kind of find it really interesting to read about because in my mind, as I'm reading it as fantasy, but it's also interesting when you're reading a book that is, to me, I'm considering it like fantasy, and there's a lot of stuff that's just like otherworldly in here, but then some people also worship these gods, and they used to worship these gods, and they believe these, so it's really interesting reading something that you can consider what other people may believe and who are supposed to be like ancient heroes in a way, which is really interesting. So I just love the idea of reading about it. I listened to it as an audiobook and I'm 98 pages in. I also went to the gym and I read about 10 pages while I was at the gym because I saunaed, and I brought this book. And then last night I read Go as a River, and I started on page 24 and I went to sleep at page 42, so I didn't read that much of it. Kind of made me a little sleepy last night, so I only read about 20 pages of this book, and I read 100 of this today. So now that it's my night routine and it's 8 o'clock, I am gonna read these two books, but I really am liking them so far. This one is more so, I can already tell, going to be like a coming of age kind of story, and I think I'm gonna really like the ending of this. I've already got some cute, really sweet quotes in here that I also like, and this one, I think that, yeah, I like it, but I just can tell already that I don't know if I like it as much as Ariadne, but it's a little early. I'm only 100 pages in, but it's a small book. I think there's only 286 pages, so I'm almost halfway through it, and I'm like, I don't know. Okay, I'm supposed to stop it on Monday, and that's supposed to be how many pages I read in a full week. I shouldn't count Monday, right? I shouldn't read tomorrow and then add it in this vlog. I'm just wondering because tomorrow I'm going to the pool and I'm laying out for like literally the whole day, so I'm like, I'm gonna have so much reading, so I think I'm gonna still vlog tomorrow and just count tomorrow as the week, ending starting on Monday and ending it on Monday, just because if I am able to finish either one of these books, I want to add that book review into this vlog. So we're gonna keep it going for my what I read in a week, even though I'm not sure if that's cheating or not, because I don't know how people do it. I'm doing it Monday to Monday, so we will end the vlog tomorrow night. We've come to the end of what I've read in a week. It feels like it's been a long week of reading, but I really enjoyed filming this. So let me know if you guys want to see another one of these because it's been really fun. And I also wanted to film it because I felt like it would motivate me to be able to get more reading in, which I do feel like it did. And it kind of gives you guys an insight as to the way that I read books. I think a lot of times tandem reading is like my favorite thing to do, and just reading a lot of books at the same time. I just love to alternate or switch things up. I kept a log of all of the pages pages that I read for the whole week, and I read 537 pages this week. I completed one book, which was Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings, which I gave a 4.25 star. I did end up reading Electra today at the pool, and I'm on page 144. I'm about exactly halfway actually in this book, and as I was saying earlier, it is a little bit slower, and I don't think I'm like loving it as much as I loved Ariadne, but it's really picking up right now. Because it's picking up at like the 50% mark for me, I will say if you've never read Greek mythology, maybe don't start with this one, go into this one later on, but I'm really like liking it now. I feel like I'm getting more into it. So I'm halfway point of this book. I haven't picked up Go as a River yet, but I'm gonna go back to that one. I feel like it's one of those books that I need to read in like a more busy setting or like outside of my house, because I have been finding that if I'm reading it just at home sitting on the couch, because it's a bit slower, it's making me sleepy. It doesn't mean that I don't like the book. I like the book, it's just like a little bit slow. So it's one of those things that I feel like I just need to like read it elsewhere, but today I just really wanted to read Electra, so that's what I read today. So yeah, that's everything that I read during my week. I hope that you guys liked this vlog. I will do more if you guys want to see them, but also while I'm not uploading, you guys can always follow me on Fable or Goodreads. I update both real time, what I'm reading, my thoughts, my progress, what current books I want to read, my TBR. I actually think I'm gonna organize my Fable tonight and make a bunch of different lists because they're not super organized. Anyways, that is the end of this video. I am gonna go lay in bed. I'm gonna finish reading this. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.